case. The city gives a unique platform for the Lord to display the power of the gospel. So let's think about it for just a minute. When you get to the city, you meet people in the city you wouldn't normally meet in the country, right? If you think I'm lying, just go to Austin, go down 6th Street, okay? You'll meet people on 6th Street in Austin that you wouldn't meet in Roby, Texas, or Abilene, Texas for that matter. There's people in the city who are not going to be people in the country. And the same thing was in Antioch. Okay, they had people in Jerusalem. Jerusalem was about 20 times smaller than Antioch, but Jerusalem had the moralistic kind of good old country boy without the drunkenness in the cotton fields kind of culture. There was just this togetherness, a morality in Jerusalem that didn't exist in the city. But when you get to the city, the reason the gospel has such a tremendous impact is because when you enter into an environment where there is so much hostility against God, so many people brought together whose lives are very far from the Lord, what you have is a great degree of brokenness. Most people who are city people are generally a little more open to new ideas, and so some of it might have been that. But the bigger part of it is that most people in the city, who are running from the Lord, they know that their life is in chaos. They know that they have a sense of brokenness in their life, and that was certainly the case in Antioch. So they preached the gospel to these people who, yes, their lives were full of brokenness, but they assumed they wouldn't want anything to do with the gospel, and instead they warmly received it, and in great, great numbers. You find out later in the Acts chapter 11 that this doesn't just happen once, it happens like 3 other times, these mass breakout revivals, and the church just explodes so much that they have to keep hiring new pastors over and over and over again. They have a staff of about 6. It would have been a church about twice this size, all because these Christians were willing to take the gospel to an unlikely place, preach it to unlikely people, and witness an unlikely response. And the same thing will happen today. If we are a church that seeks to bless the city, then it entails having a boldness to take the gospel to unlikely places and preach the gospel or display the truth of the gospel to unlikely people and see, I believe, an unlikely result. There's people in this city who are underserved when it comes to a gospel presence in their community. They're underserved when it comes to a gospel presence in their, maybe in their school system or in their little environment, their little section of the city. And if there was a willingness to take the truth of the gospel into those environments and to really live it out and show it and preach it in a way that is transformative, then you would see the power of the gospel on display in the city in a unique way, a way you wouldn't see it maybe in the country.